Hi, my name is Ashley, and I live next to the worst family on earth. They're the biggest snobs ever. They drive around in the fanciest cars and clothes and look down on everyone else. And they have a son named Jack, who's an absolute troll. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. If you do, you might see a shooting star tonight. When I was 6, I was playing with my favorite doll, and Jack ran up to me, snatched it out of my hands, and threw it into the street. A car ran over it and smashed it into pieces. Another day at school, Jack stole a bunch of cookies out of the cookie jar and blamed it on me. Ashley took the cookies. No, I didn't. She hid them in her desk. The teacher opened my desk and found a cookie inside. I got in huge trouble, and after school, I saw Jack on the playground stuffing his face with the stolen cookies. When Jack wasn't terrorizing me, his parents were trying to get my family kicked out of the neighborhood. Our house was the smallest on the block, and even I had to admit, it was a really ugly green. And my parents were a little weird sometimes. My dad loved to sunbathe on the front lawn, and every morning, my mom made this strange sound to call all the stray cats in the neighborhood to feed them. She'd also sing to the birds and make birdhouses all day. Our house looked like a zoo, and the neighbors hated it.
Their yard is unacceptable. It looks like an overgrown swamp.
Their house gives me a migraine every time I look at it. Mommy, my eyes hurt.
You have to do something, officer. And can someone please tell that man to put a shirt on?
Jack's parents threw fancy parties every week, but me and my family were never invited. We only lived in the neighborhood because we inherited the house from my grandfather, who used to be a famous investigative reporter. I wanted to grow up and be just like my grandfather. When I was 12, I joined the school newspaper, and when my teacher's cat, Mr. Whiskers, went missing, it took me less than 2 days to find him on the roof of the school auditorium. Though I suspected Jack had something to do with it. In high school, Jack was the richest and most popular kid. I, on the other hand, only had one friend, my cousin Bethany. Bethany moved into town a week before we started 10th grade. But Bethany was obsessed with being popular and would do anything to get Jack and his rich friends to like her. Jack's friend Sadie was the ringleader of the rich kids, and she made Jack look like a saint. Bethany adored Sadie. She'd carry Sadie and her minions' books, do their homework, and follow them around. She'd even let them copy her answers during tests. They'd smile in Bethany's face and laugh at her behind her back. Why do you let them treat you like that? They're just joking around. Those girls aren't your friends, Bethany. They're jerks. Bethany never listened. She wanted to be popular so bad she couldn't see the truth. One day, my mother dragged me out of bed at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning to volunteer at a soup kitchen. It's important to give back to those less fortunate. But do we have to do it so early? As I was serving food, I looked up to see a familiar face. Jack?
Ashley? What are you doing here?
Jack's face turned white, and he just ran out of the soup kitchen. The next day, I saw Jack at school in science class. The teacher partnered us up for a big project, and we met in the library after school. Why were you getting soup at the soup kitchen?
Did you fall on your head or something? Why would I ever go to a place like that?
You don't have to lie to me.
I'm not lying.
I'm just trying to help.
No one asked you for help.
The next day, Bethany and I were walking to class, and we ran into Jack in the hallway, and Jack gave me the meanest, coldest stare ever. What's up with you and Jack? I saw you two whispering in the library. Are you guys dating? Is it a secret romance? Oh, Jack's so cute and so rich. I'm so mad you didn't tell me. Jack and I aren't dating. Then what's going on? Can you keep a secret? Of course. I told Bethany about how I saw Jack at the soup kitchen and his weird behavior afterwards. But all Bethany cared about was that I had the attention of such a rich, popular boy. But I had an itch to investigate. So later that afternoon, I stopped by Jack's house to check things out. But I heard Jack's parents yelling inside. I heard someone coming, so I hid in the bushes. Then the door swung open and Jack rushed out. He darted down the street before I could say a word. Jack missed our study session the next day. Then, he started missing all his classes. I started to worry, so I called and texted him, but he didn't answer. A few weeks later, I went by his house again, but when I knocked on the door, a strange woman answered. There was another family living in Jack's house. The wheels in my head started spinning. I started asking around to see if anyone knew what happened to Jack. Sadie said Jack and his family were vacationing in the south of France? Or was it the Hamptons or Tahiti? It was probably all three. Jack is so lucky. I wish I was rich. There was even talk about why he'd moved. Jack's dad bought a new mansion that's twice the size of the old one.
Twice the size? He's richer than I thought.
The explanation seemed reasonable, so I let it go. During summer break, I was heading home one day after running some errands when I saw a boy in an oversized hoodie playing guitar on the sidewalk. He played a sad song that was so beautiful, it made my heart sink. When the song ended, some people dropped money in the can beside him. I walked over to put in some money too, when a suspicious-looking guy crept up and snatched the boy's can. Then the thief ran toward me. Without thinking, I stuck my foot out and tripped him. Give that back, or I'll turn your face into scrambled eggs. I took a martial arts stance that I saw in a movie once. It worked, because the thief dropped the money and ran. I picked it up and turned to the boy whose hood had come off. It was Jack. Jack? Are you okay? Jack shook his head and broke down into tears. He told me that his parents broke up, then his dad sold their house, stole his mom's money, and fled the country. Now Jack and his mom were broke and living in a shelter. I felt so bad for Jack. No one deserved that, not even a rich jerk like him. So I invited Jack and his mother to my parents' house.
Ashley, why is this woman in our house?
They're in trouble, Mom. They need our help. Jack's mom apologized for the way she treated my parents. My parents forgave her and invited them to stay in our guest room for as long as they needed. Luckily, Bethany was away all summer with her family, so I could keep the secret. Jack and his mom were so grateful that they helped out as much as they could around the house. Jack even tried to help my dad fix a leaky faucet. That didn't turn out well, but the gesture was sweet. I tutored Jack to help him catch up on the work he'd missed at school. It was odd having Jack in my house at first, especially when I saw him walk out of the shower with a towel around his waist. A few weeks later, Jack's mom got a job and they moved out. I hated to admit it, but I missed having him around. On the last day of summer, Jack sent me a text asking me to meet him. What's all this?
I wanted to thank you. It's not much, but it's the best I could do.
Jack opened the basket and pulled out my favorite foods, chili dogs and Brussels sprouts.
You and your family are the strangest people I've ever met.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a good thing. No one's ever been so kind to me, and I love how you and your parents live your lives without caring what others think. It's inspiring. How do you do it?
I don't know. It's just how I was raised.
I wish I was as strong as you.
I looked at the biceps bulging out of his shirt. I think you might have me beat.
School's gonna be so tough. I'm supposed to be the rich kid with the fancy car and the millionaire parents and...
You're not that guy anymore. And to be honest, you were a real jerk before. I like the new you way better.
Since we're being honest, I have to admit something.
What?
I think I have a crush on you.
Really?
And I'm pretty sure you have a crush on me too.
Then Jack pulled me close and kissed me. We talked for hours that night, and he even played me some songs. I saw Bethany at school the next morning after summer break. Jack passed us in the hall and he winked at me, and I couldn't stop smiling. What was that? I don't know. Jack's always been weird. Then why are you blushing? I didn't tell Bethany about me and Jack. We were taking things slow. One day, Jack and I were walking home from school when Sadie and her rich friends pulled up in a fancy car. Hey, Jack, where's your ride?
I don't...
You're trading it in for a new one, huh? Always trying to one-up me, Jack. We all get it. You're the richest, but I'm a close second.
Yeah, my new car is gonna be great. It's twice as expensive as the last one.
Jack, what are you doing? Ditch that loser and hang out with us. Plus, we have to decide what color we're gonna wear to the winter dance.
I'm not going to the winter dance with you.
Then who are you going with? Tell me you're not gonna take that freak instead of me.
If you're referring to this amazing girl standing beside me, then yeah, I am.
Sadie was pissed and drove off. I appreciate the compliment, but you can't keep lying.
About what?
Your father's not buying you a new car.
I know that.
Then why lie about it?
Why not? It's not hurting anyone.
The truth always comes out, no matter how hard you try to hide it.
Let's talk about something else. What time should I pick you up for the dance?
I think I'll pass. I'm allergic to liars. Jack and I didn't talk after that. I'd see him at school bragging to his friends about the money he didn't have, lying about the huge fancy house he just moved into, and making fun of the poor kids. He was a rich, self-centered jerk again. I couldn't believe I fell for this guy. Jack called and texted me after school, but I ignored him and binge-watched MSA videos.
What's with the frown? It'll give you wrinkles.
I don't get why Jack has to lie about being rich.
Some people will do anything to keep up appearances. Lie, cheat, sometimes even steal.
But it's not right.
Of course it's not right. Doing the right thing isn't always easy.
I decided to go to the dance alone. Bethany and I were supposed to go together, but she wasn't returning my calls. When I arrived at the dance, I saw Bethany hanging out with Sadie and her crew, following them around, holding their drinks. Hey, Bethany, I've been trying to reach you. Sorry, I gotta go. Bethany was acting strange. She could barely look me in the eye. Then Jack walked up to me, and before he could say a word, everyone's cell phone started going off. I looked at my phone and saw a video of Jack's mom working as a maid. You're not rich, Jack. You're a poor loser. Then all of Jack's rich friends laughed at him. And don't try to deny it. Bethany told us everything. She even made this video. It's true. Ashley told me that she saw Jack begging for food at the soup kitchen. Shut up, Bethany. No one asked you to speak. Be a good little puppy and stand over there. I felt furious at Bethany. I'm so sorry, Jack. I never meant...
It's okay. It's not your fault. I should have stopped pretending a long time ago. Sadie, you're right. I'm poor, but I don't care what you or anyone else thinks of me. You've never been my real friends anyway. All you've ever cared about is my money. Well, now it's gone and it sucks. But I found something way more valuable.
Then Jack took my hand. Oh, jeez. If you say you've fallen in love with that freak, I'm gonna throw up. I'd had enough. I walked over to her and accidentally spilled my drink all over her dress. Oh, sorry about that. But you know, the punch does bring out your eyes.
You want to get out of here?
Yes, please. As Jack and I walked out the door, Bethany ran up to us. Ashley, it wasn't personal. We're still friends, right? Maybe I can fix things with you and Sadie. If you did her homework for a week, then you're pathetic, Bethany. And you deserve someone like Sadie. Jack and I left the party and went to the beach. We ate chili dogs and Brussels sprouts and danced the night away.
This is nice.
You know what the best part is?
What?
It doesn't cost a thing. Then Jack gave me the most romantic kiss ever.